If you're passionate about change and love a good laugh, then you need to join Chuck and Joe. Chuck and Joe are a dynamic husband and wife duo, tackling the biggest issues across the nation and around the globe. With a blend of wit and wisdom, they dive deep into current events, giving you the lowdown with a side of humor. They're not just talking heads, they're your fellow freedom fighters, committed to sparking meaningful conversations. From politics to social justice, no topic is off limits. So hit that subscribe button and join the Freedom Fighter community today. Let's laugh, learn, and fight for a better world together. Welcome to the Freedom Fighters podcast, where serious meets funny, just like Chuck and Joe.
Good afternoon, evening, or morning, America. This is Chuck, Joe, and the Freedom Fighters podcast. Welcome, everyone. Chuck and I are starting a new podcast. We kind of felt that maybe we would like to give some perspective from older Americans, maybe not old Americans yet, but older Americans, and see how we fit into what's going on in America and around the world. We also want to let you know news from around the world, from independent sources, not necessarily the news that you're seeing from NBC, ABC, or CBS, because we feel that that's very jaded. We want news brought to America that's truthful and honest. Chuck and I do the best we can to fact check everything that I bring to you. If you'd like or have any ideas of further podcasts that you'd like us to do, please let us know. Just write down underneath what you think that you would like to hear about, as we think we will share throughout the world, the U.S., and with focus on our government, news, and American people. If there's certain things that any of you would like to hear about, let me know. We'll do possibly a podcast on it and check into it. I'm interested in hearing it. We love your ideas, feelings on matters, and would like you to hit the like and subscribe button for us also. As a new podcast, things are tough when you start out. I'm not going to keep on you, but if you do like us, all I ask is that you hit that button and please share us with others. Here we go. First of all, today, I would like to talk to you about what I feel is maybe one of the most important things to everyone. Of course, we have groceries. We have the price and economy right now that are coming down. However, we strongly believe that we're not hearing enough about Americans or news from other countries that is reliable. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the latest on U.S.-China relations. Trade disputes and tariffs, diplomatic challenges, economic impact, and looking ahead. As we know, the U.S. reached a 90-day trade truce in May, but tensions are escalating. The Trump administration doubled the tariffs on steel and aluminum imports for up to 50%. Do you feel that's fair? Do you back President Trump on this? Diplomatic challenges for Donald Trump. He states that President Jinping is extremely hard to make a deal with, raising concerns about stalled negotiations. Obviously, they have made comments behind doors that Trump has let us all know that they don't want to look incompetent to the world. So basically, Trump's writing a fine line. We feel that he cannot insult China, yet he cannot tell the whole truth about China in order to get them to the negotiation tables. It's a tough situation. And I feel that President Trump is doing the best that he can. How do you Americans feel? And tell me what you're seeing, what you're hearing. Wall Street reacted negatively to the trade war escalation, with the S&P 500 and Dow Jones both experienced declines, but we've noticed that they're going up and down. It seems to be more up than down lately. I think the tariffs are going to work. Tariffs are not a famous thing with most Americans. They're not a famous thing with a lot of Congress. But however, if you look back in early America, and around 1912, tariffs were in. And America is one of the richest, if not the richest country in the entire world. And that was due to tariffs. So I want everyone to think about that for a moment. Check into that if you don't believe me and read on it. Trump has very good points. He's a very good businessman. And what we need to do is make America great again. We all know that. Americans need to be put first. I believe that. I hope you do too. If not, I still welcome you here. I welcome your ideas, anyone, whether you're black, white, whether you're a Jew, whether you're from Hamas, Whether you're American, whether you're Chinese, bring it in. I want to hear from you. Looking ahead, the 90-day trade deal expires in July, and experts predict further economic and diplomatic tensions. We'll see where that's going. As of news today, Trump is still in negotiations at the side with China. I guess we'll see where this leads. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about Zelensky and Putin. I'm a little upset about this war, and actually I'm a lot upset about this war. There's been a lot done in Congress that have been wrong to the American people. The American people are experiencing hardships because of fraud, waste, and frankly, right down dirty tricks that would land the rest of us in jail. I think Elon and Doge have proven that the Democrats are mostly at the bottom of this with the deep state. Please know that I am not accusing any senator or anyone in this video. However, these are my comments, my thoughts, and my husband's, Chuck's. So if you have a problem with that, then just take it up with us. Put it on the bottom. We'll read. But we ask that you keep your comments nice, everyone. We want nothing bad in our comments. We want everyone to feel welcome. When I talk about Zelensky and Putin, I'm very disappointed that Zelensky hit Putin and, took out a great amount of aircraft, not to mention he also took out his bridge. I understand why Zelensky and his people of the Ukraine would like to get this war ended. Thousands and thousands of young men, young women are dying each day in this war needlessly. As President Trump has said, we need to end this. We need to make this fair. Now, I realize that Putin went into Ukraine first, but that's neither here nor there anymore. What's important is this has turned into a long-time war, which was never thought by Trump, by Putin, or by Zelensky in the beginning. I'm disappointed with NATO. NATO's brought in and is thinking about putting the Ukraine into NATO. That was the entire problem to begin with. If you don't know, President Putin wanted to join NATO. He wanted to be part of the rest of the world and the big countries. We told him no. We ended up telling Zelensky no from NATO, that he couldn't join either. But it turns out now that the European Union, and I say this with my heart, Germany, France, and other nations have decided to let him in. They kept from our president, the strongest president in the world, the strongest leader in the world, what was going to happen, even though he was in negotiations. How do you feel about that as Americans? Do you realize how that makes us look? If you could, write down, do you think it was right? Put a Y for yes and in for no. Should we be in negotiations with either Zelensky or Putin? I ask that you let me know your feelings on this. The next part is, do you even think Zelensky wants peace? Do you think Putin wants peace? Or do you think this is going to be another Afghanistan? Let's face it, there's no easy way for Trump to get around this. There's no easy way for Americans to be on either side. What I do know is there's a lot of money laundering going through Ukraine. Money that Americans have worked for all of our lives have been taken to countries and given to warmongers that we don't even know. And not for just causes either. I get very upset when I hear these things, as we've worked for peace as a nation for as long as I can remember. But to find out that the deep state is laundering money and encouraging wars to other nations and not telling the American people, well, this has to stop. I wonder what you feel. How are your grandkids going to be? How are your great-grandchildren going to be? How are your children going to be in the future? We need to think about this. And what happens if Putin does set off a nuke? Where are you going to go? Do you have things ready and prepared? Well, most of us do, most of us don't. I know that there are a lot of struggling Americans who are just getting things together, but make no mistake. They are testing things out out in Europe now. A couple of weeks ago, and I'll be honest, I don't remember the exact date. I was watching updates on the European Union, and they were telling the people all the way from Britain to Germany to Poland to prepare for what was coming. And they told them to get their bags ready, their food ready for up to 3 weeks. What does that tell you? Then all of a sudden, all of Europe loses its lights, its energy. They said this could happen anywhere and that we're not protected. Americans, you need to start protecting yourself and watching your families. Okay? Get things together. Whatever you can do, get it together, because I'm telling you, I don't see a good future here. With Iran and Israel, from China to India, from all the wars, and Putin, where is our world going? Let's just try to love each other. I have so much more to say, but I'm going to keep this light today. If you like what you've heard, if you like what you've seen, please give me a yes. Give me a no for no. Let me know what I could do better in the future and what you'd like to hear. I just want you to know that we appreciate you. Please remember to hit that button, like and subscribe. Chuck and I are just starting and we need your help. We enjoy you and hope that you will be back with us. We would love your ideas. Anything that you have that you can share with us would be appreciated. As a new podcaster, things are not easy, and we would love to know how to make it better. We would love to hear from you. This is
Chuck
and Joe and the Freedom Fighters signing off, America. Stay safe and keep a smile on your face.